Thrifting is so satisfying. Hey Bestie, it's Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. I've got 7 thrift flips for you today.
I'm using an item that I found at a thrift store for $3, and it's just a block, kind of a sign with velvet on the back, and then on the front is this sort of distressed floral picture, and that actually might be considered shabby chic just by itself. I cleaned it off with some alcohol, and then I decided I'm going to use some scrapbook paper to embellish it and start the beginning of my shabby chic process. So I used my little cutter and I figured out the right size to put this piece on the top. I'm using Mod Podge to attach it. And I tend to like to put a little bit on and then attach it one side at a time. And I'm using my brayer to push it down. If this had been something really thin, I would have also probably used saran wrap and then used my brayer over that. But this is a very nice thick piece of scrapbook paper, so it doesn't really require that. It's not going to bubble like you might think. A trick you can do is spray it down with a little bit of water first before you lay it down, and that helps to get rid of any of the bubbles or wrinkles. I didn't need that on this one, so that's why I didn't do it. Next, I'm going to take one of these doilies. It's kind of the middle-sized one, and it fits perfectly right on top of this block. And I'm going to cut out the center, and then you see I just have the outsides of the lace on the doily, and I'm going to Mod Podge that down as well. I'm also going to add a layer of Mod Podge over the top. Dollar Tree has such cute decals. So this one says always be joyful, and I'm going to cut it apart so each word is separate, but I just love it, and it's got that really cool font and the gold and blacks. I think it'll look really nice on this. And I'm going to take off the decal. I'm going to place them right on top of this little sign, and so it's going to say always at the top, be in the middle, and then joyful on the bottom. And I just love that. I'm also going to add some Mod Podge over the top of each of the decals to make sure that it's not going anywhere. And since this represents a scripture, which there was a reference for, it's Thessalonians 5:16, I want to make sure I put that on there so people know that it is directly from the Word of God, and that this is what He wants for us, to always be joyful, no matter what our circumstances, no matter what's going on. Now I'm taking my little nail file, and you can use a little sanding block for this also, and I'm going around the edges and making sure I get rid of all the excess. You only do this when it's dry. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white paint, and I'm going to paint all the way around. And I think I'm using the white Waverly chalk paint for this one. I have these cute little flowers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to use a little bit of Apple Barrel's paint called Warm Buff. It's like a beige. And I'm just going to tone them down, because they're so bright. And I think for this piece, I just want it to be slightly more muted, the color, especially that yellow in the center. That's actually what I do first. And then I do go back and do a little bit more over all the flowers. And these little balls that I got from the floral section also, you'll see me add those. And I just love that kind of softer feel that it gives it. Again, I love the pink, but for this shabby chic, I just want it to be a little more soft and feminine. I'm also going to take some little leaves that came off of a pick. I'm going to cut them apart and just randomly place them near the flowers here and there. I just thought that would be fun. And then the ones that are by themselves, I'm going to add those little round pink balls that you'll see in a minute right over the top. And I just like that little touch of green. I think that's very pretty, and I think it really adds to the look. One thing that I was thinking is, with the sheet music I have in the background and then always be joyful, it makes me think about that song, I've got that joy, joy, joy down in my heart. So it kind of reminds me of that, and that's kind of the message I think I was trying to put across here. I guess think of it this way, it costs nothing to have joy in your heart and spread joy. I mean, that's so much better than spreading negativity and complaining, don't you think? At least I do. Now at this point, I'm going to take that Warm Buff color by Apple Barrel, and I am just literally going to go over all of the flowers and the balls and just tone it down just a bit. Doesn't that just add such a nice shabby chic feel? I really like that. And again, I have nothing against the bright pink. I'm all over it. I love it. But for this piece, I think this is the look that it really needed to have. Plus it gives it a little bit of an older, worn look without actually distressing it officially. I really enjoyed making this one, and I think it came out really nice. I hope you guys like it. Little sign from the Goodwill, and although it's super cute, I wanted to do something different to it, so I removed the twine and the clothespins on the front, and off camera I took my sander and I sanded down the front so I could get rid of the words that were on there. And now I'm going to take my Antique Wax by Waverly and I'm going to go ahead and restain it. I did like the dark stain, I just didn't want the words that were there, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on all over, and then I'm going to wipe off the excess with a paper towel. I'm going to take my Arteza paint marker in white, and I'm going to start drawing a dandelion that's already dried out. You'll see what I mean here in a second. And I'm then putting little things on the edges. I'm just kind of embellishing it a little bit because I just want this to be super, super cute. I'm then going to freehand the words wish and dream, and I'm going to try to make it look like a typewriter font. This is freehand, so doing the best I can. Actually, I think it turned out really good. And I'm going to go over everything again with my marker until it's a little bit brighter of a white. These markers, sometimes you have to keep pumping them to make sure that they stay nice and fresh, but it's worth it because it comes out so, so cute. And I'm continuing to make my little dandelion by adding some more lines and little dots on the edges. I'm also going to make a little circle in the center, and then I'm going to continue making this look brighter and whiter as I go. Got this really super cute gold and white twine at Target of all places, and I'm going to use that to go back through those holes and thread them through. I'm going to put a little tape on the end so I can thread it through easier. I'm going to tie a knot in the back in the first piece, and then I'm going to just go back and forth just the way it was originally, but using this really cute twine. Once I have it all threaded, I'm going to tie a knot in the back and put a little hot glue to make sure that it's nice and secure. Then I'm going to take a gold Arteza paint marker and I'm just going to embellish it a little bit, like on those little dots on the end, and then I'm going to add the 3 dots after the word dream and wish also in the gold. The clothespins that came with this were like with a glitter bronze, and I wanted them to be more gold to match. So I'm using that same Arteza paint marker in gold, and I'm just going to go over all the edges of those little clothespins, and I'm going to put them right back on there, and they're so cute. I think it would be super cute to write out your wishes and dreams and then put them on the clothespins and have them in front of you to remind you what you want to accomplish. Then I use a piece from a mop head. It's like a 3-strand cord, and I'm going to take it down to 1. And I'm going to hot glue it over the widest parts of the little dandelion to give it that texture. I just love texture, and this kind of brings it to life. To cover that very center piece, I'm going to kind of wrap a piece of this mop head around itself in a circle until it's the right size, and then I'm going to hot glue it right to the center. You guys, I'm loving this one. You have to tell me what you think. I had this old basket, and it really it wasn't cute. It was so basic, and I easily could have donated this or just tossed it, to be honest with you. So I decided, okay, I'm going to spruce it up. I'm going to use some of my rose gold metallic paint from Folklore, and then I'm also going to use a paint sample that I got at Lowe's for the second color, and I honestly don't know what the name is. It's a little bit of a cream color, and I thought I'm going to do all of the outside edges because it's kind of a different basket weave for those. And then also the center and the bottom I'm going to do in the rose gold, and I'm going to do the rest in the cream. And I got to tell you, this basket has really come to life, and it's so pretty now. It could be boho, it could be modern farmhouse, but I really like it, and now I'm going to use it, so it has been saved. You'll have to let me know if you've ever tried to salvage a little basket like this. I mean, it doesn't have handles. It's not, fancy basket weave or anything like that, but adding that color just changed it. So it's got a whole new life now, and I'm happy with it. And I hope you guys like it too. Amazing what just a little bit of paint can do to really change the look and feel of something. And sometimes before you get rid of something, you just want to kind of look at it and think about it. Could I maybe do something to the color, and change the way it looks and feels? And for me, this really, I'm so glad I didn't throw it away or donate it, because I can honestly say I love this now. Please let me know what you thought about all of these Trash to Treasure DIYs in the comments. I am looking forward to reading what you have to say. This beautiful wooden cross, and it's etched in the front, and it just says be a living sacrifice. And I think it's beautiful as it is, but I did want to do something different to it. So I cleaned it up with a little bit of rubbing alcohol because I noticed that it was super dusty, and then I removed the little hanger in the back, and I can put that back later. In the meantime, I'm going to actually start pulling out supplies. This is what I do when I don't know what I want to do with something. I just pull out everything that I could possibly want to use, and then I narrow it down as I go, and I just kind of go from there. I'm going to take my white primer in the Kills brand, and I'm going to cover this entire front and the sides, not the back, of this cross, because that stain isn't really my favorite look. So I wanted to get rid of it, and then I could kind of do anything I want after that. So this kind of gives it a nice neutral base. And I'm not doing a full coat because I'm going to put paper and different things on it, as you will see here in just a minute. I'm going to use my heat tool to dry this, which makes it go 3 times as fast, and that's in my Amazon store as well. Great tool. And then I've got a bunch of scrapbook paper. So this is the first one. It's a very heavy cardstock, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to trace out just for that little top square, and then the piece that continues down, but not the bar that goes across the cross. So I'm just going to use my square and connect the lines that I drew, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it out. I have recently been very intrigued by paper crafting and mixed media. I've been experimenting, and this is going to be one of those projects. I'm going to take the 2 pieces that I cut out, and I'm going to use my decoupage to adhere the scrapbook paper to the cross. And you don't have to put the top coat on because it's just so thick, it's not necessary. And I did put a generous amount on to begin with. And I'm loving the way it's looking already, and I just barely started. And then I have another piece of scrapbook paper that I'm going to cut out that I'm going to place on the horizontal bar of the cross, except for the very center, which I'm going to do something different there. little piece that came off of a Dollar Tree sign that I had already put some scrapbook paper on, but I didn't end up using it. And so I'm going to use that one in this project. And then I've also got this little frame that I saved from a Christmas ornament. I'm going to cut off the excess with my little utility knife, and then I'm going to sand it down and get rid of any rough edges, because I did rip fabric off of it at the time when I took it apart. And once that's done, I'm going to take my antique wax stain by Waverly, and I'm actually going to go around the entire front of it, the inside edge and the outside edge, and I'm going to stain it. And once I apply that, I will wipe some off with a towel when I'm done, because I don't want it too dark. I just want it to look like it's stained. I'm going to hot glue that other little piece that I had covered in scrapbook paper right to the center. And then I'm going to take another piece of scrapbook paper that has scripture on it, and I'm going to use that little frame to figure out how big it needs to be. And what I'm cutting out is actually the Lord's Prayer, which is in the bigger font in the center of what I'm cutting out. And I just love that so much. Oh my gosh, the perfect prayer on the perfect cross. It just doesn't get any better than that. I'm going to use just a teeny bit of hot glue and attach it to that frame, and then I will attach that right over that centerpiece on the cross itself. And I just think it's so cool. And the only thing, it's a little crooked, but let's pretend that nobody else notices that and I can live with it. So that's how that's going to go. And then I've got these two little cutouts of the word inspire and the word thankful. Inspire was sent to me by a YouTube friend from Dollar Tree, and Thankful was from the Target dollar spot back in the fall. I had already painted the Thankful in my metallic silver by Folklore, so I'm now doing that with the Inspire, because I just really think it pops when it's got that silver right on there. And then I'm going to go around the edges with a little Sharpie marker. Can't get into the little teeny spots, but the parts you can see for the most part will have the black. I'm going to do that to both the Thankful and the Inspire. Then I'm going to take a little bit more scrapbook paper, and this one just has a pretty little design and it says Family Forever on it, and I'm going to use that and cut a piece to put across the bar at the top, and then I will set the word thankful on it with hot glue, and I will do the same thing down below with the Inspire word, and I'm going to attach them also with the Mod Podge. Tip: if you're using hot glue on something that's really small like this that has a lot of gaps, don't ever lift up your hot glue gun. Just keep it touching the surface, and that way you won't get the glue webs. I decided to use some sheet music scrapbook paper for the word inspire, and I thought that was really cool. It's almost like, you know, I'm inspired to worship, and so that's what my thinking was behind that. I took my X-Acto knife and I'm just trimming off any little excess scrapbook paper that hung over the edge. And then I'm going to sand all around every edge of this and just make sure that it's all flush. And that gives it a little bit of an antique kind of a look, which I really like. And then I'm going to use the antique wax by Waverly and rub around the edges. So now I have some good edges to rub that on. And then I'm going to actually distress more than that. I'm going to go around all the white sides and make it look like a lighter wood. And then I'm going to distress over the top. And if I get too much on there, I just take a wet baby wipe and wipe it away, and that way I have control over. As long as you do it right away while it's still wet, that will work. And I really like the antique look this is giving it. It's just exactly what I wanted it to look like. And since I didn't like the original stain in the first place, I took the antique wax and I went over the back side, because I do like to finish my projects, and I think this made it look a little bit nicer, at least in my opinion. And then I can put the hanger back on. Guys, I love this one. I hope you really like it. Please let me know what you think in the comments. DIY, I used another thrifted piece from the Goodwill. It's just this little sign. It was $3 and it's made out of like tin, and then it's got a little bottle in that holder. I'm also going to use some lace and a couple of napkins that I got from Home Goods and Dollar Tree. I'm going to clean this with some rubbing alcohol to make sure that it's nice and smooth. And I'm just going to remove the plies and then just cut out little elements from each of these napkins. So I'm going to get a bird and a couple of flowers, and I am going to Mod Podge them directly onto the bottle. I just want to give it a little more of an interesting, kind of a shabby chic look, of course. Oftentimes when we Mod Podge, we'll put the entire napkin or the entire tissue paper or scrapbook paper, but I think it's okay to take little elements and mix them in and just put them on, especially if you're going for a look like this. I think it's just really fun to play around and try different things. Don't be afraid to try new things. You have nothing to lose. I've got that wider piece of lace, and what I'm going to do is cut it down to size, and I'm just going to make it a little piece that you stick in behind the bottle when you put the bottle back in, just to add a little of that lacy feel to it and that feminine touch. And I think it's cute. I mean, this really, I didn't have to sew, I just hot glued it down. This really could not be any easier, and this is, you know, something if you just want to start trying shabby chic crafting, I think this would be an awesome piece. I'm going to take a little bit of this really pretty yarn that I got at Walmart, and I'm just going to tie it around the neck of the bottle, around the threads, and make a cute little bow. I just really wanted to add just that extra little touch, and I put the florals in from the Dollar Tree right into the bottle. Again, super simple, you guys. This is just so basic and easy, and I would say even if you found a piece that looked different than this, anything that you could put the flowers in or that you could Mod Podge on, it would work. This was so fun. I really hope you guys liked it. This DIY, I'm going to use these 2 wooden candlesticks that I ordered on Amazon, some antique wax, and then the metallic folk art paint in silver. I'm going to use some E6000, my hot glue gun, and I found these 3 silver bowls and plates at a thrift store, really cheap, like $3 for the 2 larger pieces and only $1.99 for the smaller one that's going to go on top. And then I'm using those little ping pong balls that have the googly eyes on them from Halloween at Dollar Tree to create the feet. And I'm going to create a 3-tiered tray. So I'm going to remove the tags, and that one is super shiny and the other ones are kind of tarnished, so I'm going to clean them all with alcohol first, see what I can remove that way. And it really doesn't get rid of the tarnish, but at least they are super clean now. I'm going to use my white paint from Folk Art, and I'm going to first paint the blue part of the googly eyes, and then I'm going to paint the whole thing, and then I'm going to use my antique wax by Waverly to go over the top and make it look like these little balls are made out of wood. That's what I'm going for here. And then I'm going to take the wooden candlesticks that I got off Amazon, and I'm just going to stain them with the antique wax. And I didn't wipe off the excess because the little feet are dark, so I thought I'd just go ahead and leave it, and I love the way it looks. These candlesticks on Amazon are such good quality. They are in my Amazon store, as are all of my tools and supplies that I can put in there. So there they are, all stained. In order to get rid of that kind of tarnish and extra shine, I'm using the silver metallic paint by Folk Art, and I'm just dabbing it all around. And it's actually doing exactly what I was hoping it would do. And I'm going to do this to all of the silver pieces because it really helps, 1, get rid of the tarnish, and then 2, dull down the shine just enough. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. Very lightly, I'm putting very little on, just dabbing it everywhere. Now that I finished doing that silver paint, I'm going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue on my little feet, and I'm going to hot glue them like in a little square formation on that round bottom flat piece. I can't do it on the outside edges because they're a little higher and it wouldn't like hit the ground, if you will. I hadn't thought about that when I picked out this plate, but this works out just fine to put them on the very bottom, and it's actually very stable, so I'm happy with how that worked out. The next thing I'm going to do is take my candlesticks, and again using a combination of E6000 and hot glue, I'm going to attach them to the center of each of the pieces or levels of the tray, and that will actually complete the formation of the 3-tiered tray. You know, after the fact, I thought about I probably should have put something in the middle of the top one so it comes up like a little finial type thing, and I don't know why I didn't think of that, so I may go back and do that later, but I didn't end up doing it for this video. But it still came out super cute, and I am very happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys like it, and you can see just how easy it is to make this. DIY is actually a thrift flip. I picked up this little sign from the Goodwill. It was super cute, said something cute, but it just wasn't really my style. So I took off the tag and then I sanded off the words, and I didn't want to just cover it with paint because I'm going to use a white paint and they're darker, so I just sanded them off, used my ladybug vacuum to clean up like I always do. You know, all my tools are always down in my Amazon store. And then I'm using my Kills primer in white. I love that. I use that in place of chalk paint a lot to cover larger surfaces. And it actually is going to take a couple coats to cover this, but no problem. It's such a small little piece. You know, of course, I realized I probably should take off the hanger. So I stopped before I got to the top and I took off the little hanger, just had to untwist it. And it's just got 2 little holes where they put that in. And then I'm going to paint everything, including that cute little embellishment at the top, which I think is so cute. People make those like out of clay and then add them to signs, and it was kind of cool to see it was already there. So that's the first coat done. And then I'm going to use my heat gun to dry between coats. And even when you don't see me do it, I always use the heat gun in between. I'm going to do the back, and then I'm going to turn it back over and do the second coat on the front. And that way it looks very, very white, and that's what I was going for. And now I was going to try to use some painter's tape to kind of block off the edges and use my marker to paint around them. But look what happens while I dry it. But look what happens after I take off the tape. Nice bleed. So I ended up just making my line a little thicker. It was super easy to fix, and I just know that with a marker you really can't use even painter's tape. It just because of the wood grain, I guess, it goes right underneath. So I drew my outline all the way around the front and then on the sides of the entire sign, and I just love the way that look. Gives it kind of that farmhousey type look, but I'm again still going for the cottage core, and I think that embellishment at the top really helps add that to it. Gives it a little more of the almost shabby chic, but not quite. Just finishing up the marker, and then of course that's got to dry. If you get that on your hands, oh my gosh, anything you touch is going to have that on it forever. Because I'm using a permanent marker, of course, right? And then this part wasn't too hard. I sped this up, but I actually did this very slowly so that I wouldn't get too crazy. And if I got too thick, I just kind of adjusted, you know. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some antique wax paint from Waverly, and I'm just going to distress that embellishment. I'm going to put a bunch on, and then I'm going to take a baby wipe and wipe it off, and I'll go back and forth till I get the look that I want. I just didn't want it on the white part. I have these really cool thick letters from Walmart, and I'm going to spell out the word eat. So I'm just going to take my marker and I'm going to cover over that kind of bronze color on the E, A, and T, and I will also dry that, and then I'm going to put that on the sign and center it, and it's so cute. I could see this like in an English cottage somewhere. I really could, and it was so easy. You could do this with any sign. You could add any embellishment, honestly, any lettering you want. But this reminded me almost of like the London Tube, which is their subway, and how signs would look, and I just really liked it. And once I get my letters placed, I'm just going to add the little hanger back, and that's it. It was so easy, and it turned out so adorable. Let me know what you think. I'm loving this one.
Are you ready for more inspiration? I've got another video here I think you will really like. Click on it. I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye.